Hi everyone, it's Eileen here from Midtown Fiber. This is just a short little video because I felt like it. This is my self-care right now. I've had, sinus infections, and I think I still have one. 2 rounds of antibiotics. I've had lots of bugs this fall. It's been kind of crazy how many bugs we've had. My daughter is home now with probably the flu and an asthma exacerbation. Vaccines help, hopefully. So we will see how her course of it is. But yeah. So I've been stressed, and I also have some TMJ issues and tension headaches. So a hot pack on the sagittal suture that goes over here, it really helps. So I'm gonna take this off because it's been on for like 20 minutes, and that's always a good 20 on, 20 off idea. So I'm gonna take this off now. I did shower, so my hair is a little crazy. I think I also got a haircut since the last time I filmed, and I'm kind of loving it. Yeah, my this is a birthmark. I have a blonde streak in my hair. I've had it since I was born. I was born just with a patch of blonde right here. And so it comes out like that, and I can't do anything about it because it won't take dye, and it won't. I remember getting perms in high school. I'm that old, and it came out completely straight. So I don't know. So anyway, I wanted to chat a little bit about self-care today because the point of my channel is not just about fiber art, but how fiber art and mental health can come together. I went through a really stressful time. I think we all did during the pandemic. I am an epidemiologist and a nurse, and I was working, and now I don't work anymore. And I'm going through a lot of therapy. And one thing I've realized is how much knitting has helped me stay sane. I'm sure I'm not alone. And so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. And I had a realization yesterday that, I don't know, please feel free to comment on these. This is sort of an open podcast. I'm interested to talk to everybody. I want to hear your thoughts and kind of where you're coming from, because knitting is healing for me. It may be something different for you. It may be another craft. It may be something else entirely, but what it means to have an outlet is everything. So I knit pretty much all the time. I found something yesterday, and I put it on my Instagram account. I'll add in my Instagram handle here at Midtown Fiber. And I had my plates of Nutiden. I think this is the Brugt. I am so sorry if I'm butchering that. But it is a beautiful color, and hopefully with this light you can maybe see a little bit. It's like a warm gray-brown, but it comes in plates. And I showed it in a previous podcast, but I can show it in another one too. And I wanted to knit with it, and it's been in the back of my head just sort of percolating. And I was almost feeling like I really needed to do it, to just make a choice and decide how to handle this Nutiden. And it was a form of therapy for me. I felt like I could walk through some things by just coming to some conclusions about how to use this yarn and what I'm going to use it on. So yesterday, I had a couple of hours. My poor sick kiddo was upstairs. She's 13, she's fine. But I had a couple hours before therapy. And so I spent a couple glorious hours hand winding my Newtiden, which is what I have seen recommended by many sources on the YouTubes and the interwebs, by holding it double. So I have a lot of plates of this. So you just grab 2 plates and you put them on the floor. And I took video of this, so I think I can probably insert that into this. But then you just grab 1 string of each and gently, gently hand wind. There's something about that, right? It's meditative, it's calming, it makes sense when sometimes the world doesn't make sense. So for me, that's what I did yesterday, and it was such a gift. I went to therapy. I'm going through something called EMDR for PTSD and traumatic experiences. So it's always hard. Therapy is a lot, and the rest of the day is kind of shot. So last night after therapy, I went and did my mom things, because you all know that doesn't ever stop no matter what. But at the end of the day, I was able to light a fire in my beautiful old fireplace. I'll post a picture here, with my dog. I have another dog. You guys heard them last time. Apologies for not knowing how to edit that out. I will this time. You can probably hear them chewing on bones, but if anything happens, I'll edit it out. But I did that last night, chilling by the fire with some tea. Peppermint tea is my jam right now. This one today is Moroccan mint. Is this one? I think this one is Harney and Sons. I might be wrong. I'll put it in the description box. It is everything with some honey, and you need things to open. So I did that last night with a fire and with Mabel, my Shar-Pei mix dog. She's a big cuddler. And I knitted up on my Newtiden a swatch because I wanted to see what I really wanted to make with this. Because recently I've decided that I'm not going to pick a pattern based on, the look of the pattern. I'm going to pick a pattern based on what gauge I get with yarn I want in it. I don't know if you guys do this, because I find that more therapeutic. I think I'm a process knitter. I want to feel the meditative and contemplative moments of knitting. I'm not into, the fast knitting. I think it's amazing, and I sometimes I wish I could do that, but it's not really for me. So I decided that I would just knit on this yarn. It's a new process for me. Sorry if everybody else has always known that. It's new. And I knitted up a gauge swatch, and I started using, right now I'm using these shorties from ChiaoGoo. I'm in love with them. They come in sizes 4 to 8 US, and in 2-inch and 3-inch needle lengths, and they come with these blue cords. I also have the laced ones from ChiaoGoo, the whole set, and then I have the extra small ones. I'm not sure that was a wise purchase for me, but we can discuss another time. So I took my shorties with my small cord, it's not really long, and I started with a size 10, and then I moved to a size 8, and then I moved to a size 6 with purl, 1 row of purling in between each gauge, so I would have an idea of what I liked. And you know what? I'm kind of stuck. What do you guys like? For a sweater, that's the ultimate in cozy. Because what I'm thinking is, I really love the, I'll put it here. I can't remember the name of it offhand right now, by Haley Smedley, otherwise known as Ozetta. It's a beautiful turtleneck. Winter pullover. I think that's it. Beautiful turtleneck, extra huge sweater. Perfect with this. I think she even did it in a similar color. But the gauge, I'm not so sure I want to have to knit an entire sweater with that kind of loose gauge from a 10. So then I went to the 8, and I really like that, but it still feels a little too loose for what I'm looking for. So this is a US size 6, which is a 4.0 millimeter needle, and I think maybe I'll go with the 6. Obviously I did not wash and block this, nor did I do it in the round, so I wish I could insert the audio that says shame, because that's kind of what I feel about that. But I love this, and what I did with the Nutiden was I just knitted it and I held it double. And it was the most therapeutic. I don't know if it's just Nutiden or if it's that like I'm in a zone where I want to try something I've never tried before, and for me that's unspun yarn right now. And there seems like there's a myriad, endless possibilities with this, because you can hold it single once you get the hang of it, because obviously it's a little delicate. You can hold it single with mohair, which I have tried when I first got it. I'm not sure how I felt about that. Maybe I'll do it again on this. And then you can hold it double or even triple, which is an idea. So there's something about the process of all of this that's just heartwarming. My dream is to build community. That's kind of what I did as an epidemiologist. I had a Facebook page called Public Health is Your Job Too. It was a very difficult time. People were unkind. But I live in Indiana, and there are just people like that everywhere. But I finally found my place. We had to move because of, we had some threats where we were living. So we moved, and I feel like I'm in a good place now. I feel like I'm in a healthy place now, and now I'm just sort of working to kind of unravel all that, peel away all the layers of stuff that built up. But there's something very therapeutic about having a new process to engage in, to challenge my brain, but also allow things to process. Find I can process emotions and experiences while I'm knitting, because I can focus on my hands, and it takes the highly analytical, constantly thinking mind that I have, and that's a gift, but it takes it to a place it can calm down and it can just be. I'm not sure how you guys all feel about this content, but it felt like something I wanted to do today, and that's worthwhile too. And maybe it's its own therapy. So I am having a blast here. It's Christmas time. It's my favorite, but I'm also learning it's a trigger. So my therapist suggested something, and I think that this, for anybody who's got childhood trauma, that this might help you too, to think about what your biggest dream was as a kid and then gift it to yourself now. So I will share that when it's Christmas time. I'm not sharing it now, but I did it, and it was really exciting. There's joy in going into the dark and kind of seeing some hard stuff, but also showing compassion and love to the kid who made it through it, the kid who grew up to be a teenager, who went through a lot of medical problems and stuff, and came out the other end. I am grateful every day for the life I lead, but I have gone through stuff. I think all of us have. And there's always a place that's hard, right? So it's interesting to me. My crafting really does change depending on how I'm feeling. So I feel like knitting these things right now, and knitting is always sort of the paramount priority of crafting for me. But spinning does something else. It's like a different process. Right now I have an e-spinner, and so it's I found it not quite as meditative as a wheel, but it has its own calming, chill vibe. And what comes out of it is useful in so many different things. I've been weaving as well, which also is a different headspace to be in. But I love all of it. So I'm not sure how you guys are feeling around this Christmas time. I mean, holidays are really hard for a lot of people, but I have found in life that things are not really black and white, right? Things are always many shades, and there are parts of you that are um, really excited and joyful and childlike, and then there are parts of you that find it hard um, for whatever reason. For me, the socialization is hard these days. Pandemic really, I mean, it affected everybody, and for the kids especially, we're seeing this, the after effects now. It's not like I'm saying the pandemic is over, because we all know COVID's still out there, right? But I think we're in a healing space as a world right now, emotionally and mentally, because we have to, there's a reckoning that comes after living like that, right? So holidays are hard, and people have been around family a lot, and it sort of drains people, even if they're not introverts. I think we're all kind of resetting, and I have found I might be more of an introvert than I thought I was. I love being with myself. I'm not sure that that's not a bad thing, but it's also like, life is about balance. So I'm working to find balance in everything I do. I hope you find that too, because life becomes joyful when you can live in the fact that life is not always joyful, right? You take the ups and the downs as they come. And so Christmas holds many things for me, but my kids and my husband and my dogs, it's just joyful. That part is joyful. And so we've been decorating, and we did some Christmas stuff here in Indianapolis. We have a museum of art called Newfields, and they had a Christmas light display that was a lot of fun. I think it's probably better for younger kids. There wasn't a whole lot to do. My son is about to be 10, 3 days after Christmas. And my husband's birthday is in December, and both of his parents' birthdays are in December. Not a good time to have a birthday. And then what else did we do? We went to a place in Carmel they have every year. Carmel's just north. It's a suburb kind of Indy. And they have a Kris Kringle market. Oh, so much fun. We ice skated, and we had hot cocoa and glue wine. Woo! That was a lot. Ate some delicious food. It was just so fun. And then we all needed a break, and my kids wanted their space the next day, because it was a lot of togetherness and being around crowds. So what I really love also is that I've started a knitting club here in Indianapolis. It's on my Midtown Fiber Facebook page, which I can put down here, but that is like a place to build community. And so I hold a knit night once a month on a Thursday evening around 6, and then I hold a knit noonish gathering on a Sunday, and those are more people are able to make those. But either way, it's such a wonderful way to meet people and learn about different, it's not even just knitting, it's stitching. So it's anybody who has a fiber art is welcome. Actually, anybody's welcome. Am I kidding? Just like come hang out. But what I find is like I learn so much from other people about their crafts, and those crafts are so interesting to me, and what it does for them, what they enjoy about it, sort of the mental health benefits of embroidery. I mean, my husband does black work embroidery and cross stitch, and I know maybe it's weird. People aren't used to that, but he does fine motor skills all day at work, and so I think it brings him a little modicum of space mentally to have something to focus on and rhythmically work towards. So it seems like it might be the same kind of outlet as I have. My son loves to weave. My daughter loves to draw and paint. We are creatives, I think, which is a new label I haven't really embraced, because I've always been so sciencey and analytical and mathy, and I still am, and so are my kids and my husband. But along with that comes a creativity, I think, and it's kind of well documented actually. So that the art and science kind of go together, the STEAM kind of grouping. And so I guess we fit in that. It's a good space to be in. So as we go towards this holiday, I'm trying to come up with all the fun things I'll do with the kids and the knitting projects I'm going to work on. So this is going to be one. And then I'm going to work on spinning. I have some amazing bats I'll show you in the next episode that'll focus more on the fiber. But I wanted to spend time just kind of sitting, chatting about mental health during the holidays, which is a really hard thing to deal with. And I hope everybody has a space where they feel safe and comfortable, and a place to process things. If you're watching this, you likely do some sort of craft, I would imagine, unless you're just like wandering the internet, which happens too. But yeah, I love watching podcasts while I knit, but I also love the silence sometimes. Some sensory, I don't know, does anybody else have that where you need some sensory space, some quiet? And then sometimes I love to listen to less podcasts these days, more like old 1920s jazz. Isn't that specific? And I live in a 1929 house, and so it's just kind of like a whole vibe, I guess. It's really calming, it's really chill. So yeah. And I also grew up with a lot of classical music, child of an academic. So there's lots of piano, lots of Mozart, lots of all that stuff. And I think I just find that a space to sit in. That kind of music is like just a delight to me. But it all goes with the moods. What else can I share? Oh, I'm sure everybody else with kids is in this zone right now. Leading up to the holidays is incredibly busy with kid things. So we're going through, all of those kinds of fun activities and school events and that sort of thing. So it can be really exhausting for everybody. So I'm trying to think of, things that over the Christmas break we can do to just hang out for a bit. To enjoy each other's company, but to also get some space. And then what movies to watch. So we are the people who watch Die Hard for Christmas. That's my husband's family tradition. We watch that either on Christmas or like right after. It's usually on Christmas. Yes, my children watched it while young. They have not repeated the language outside of the house, which is awesome. But they are also Italian, so it's just part of our language. Lots of cursing. And what else do we want? I love the old classics, right? White Christmas and Singing in the Rain, interestingly. And I mean, I have happy memories watching things like It's a Wonderful Life and even movies that aren't even Christmassy around Christmas time. So yeah, I think for us, we'll just cozy up with the fire and some cocoa and tea and maybe something stronger once in a while. And just celebrate being together and hopefully finding health in this next year. And hopefully everybody stays healthy around you and in your family this holiday season, because it stinks to be sick on the holidays. No matter what you celebrate. I know Hanukkah's coming up, and Christmas and Kwanzaa, and there's so many wonderful holidays, but so many gatherings and ways to, kind of spread the triple-demic we're all having right now. So stay safe. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good knitting and crafting time. I hope this was some kind of content you're interested in. I would love it if people would comment and let me know what they think. I'm hoping this is an open space for people. So yeah, let me know who you are, who's watching. Please subscribe if you like it, and hit the thumbs up And I think there's some sort of like a little alarm bell that'll alert you if when I post another one. I think I'll probably have a couple different kinds of podcasts, like some of these kind of sit and therapy ones, and then some of the more project-centric ones, because I feel like that's just who I am. So I'm just going to be who I am. That's part of the beauty of knowing who you are, right? So I hope to hear from you all. Thanks so much for staying with me. Follow me on Instagram at Midtown Fiber. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon.